They recruit the client first. I'm not saying which way to do it. I'm just telling you what I've seen the West Coast do it is very productive, right? Eric Davis, that's my dude. Watching a Laker game, Tanya Poe came in, right? Did it a meeting. Boop, Turner Laker game. How much did you say you just made? Recruited him first month. He made $4,500, $5,000 to pay his tax bill. $1 million earner. He made over $1 million before Tanya Poe did. They're 50% in, you all. Recruit them at the qualified appointment, right? You can't say no. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person. The server, that GM prospect, the 48 hours later recruited them. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person. That was the right person. I'm all in, right? So many times, oh, they didn't like, oh, okay, well, that's not the right person. Next, move on. We can't get caught up in the people that bojangle us. We can't get our feelings mixed up. There ain't no money in there, right? Tanya Paul always, there's no money in your feelings, right? You gotta let it go. Go to the next person. And then the birthday text, man, that's a game changer. I don't know how you, I don't know if you put it in when you get the birthdays, but that's my question for at the end. That that right there, that's what I miss about going into the office. You hear everybody's training and you can make these little tweaks. That's a game changer right there, Jen. That's I'm gonna ask you about that. And then tap rooting. Tap rooting, you all. This is something that we've all got to do a better job at, right? We're so quick. I'm gonna speak for myself, so quick to move to the next recruit, opposed to getting one, get one under them, get one under them, get one under them, right? And it works, right? It works. You just have to be focused on it. I just have to be focused on it. It's all up here. The 6 inches between my ears is all up here. It's a thinking, it's a process, right? We got to get better at this. And we know it works, right? Sent Jonathan White a Facebook message. This is someone that a direct of ours. Jonathan went on a training appointment with myself with Daniel, who just got licensed. Daniel was a client first, and then we recruited Daniel after he became a client. He was 50% in, single dad with 3 kids. Daniel went on a training appointment with Janaea. Janaea is a single mom. Janaea got licensed before Daniel last month, right? And now Janaea recruited Drian, who's a silent partner. She's taking her exam next week. Daniel recruited Marcus, his brother, who's taking it next Saturday as well. That's tap rooting. It works. I'm excited about Daniel. I don't know what Jonathan is doing. I don't even know where he at, but Daniel's good. Janaea's good. And Marcus is good. And so is Dren. And they're all taking me on appointments. Tap rooting is important, y'all. Tap rooting. All right. So I just wanted to hit those points that Jen just wanted because that's important. So I'm going to go over what my teammates did this week. All right. This is exciting because this is why you want to hire, train, develop, get licensed as soon as possible. This is why, because we want to be like my coach Shaq. We want to earn 500,000 plus passively, right? And BFI. Now, I don't have nearly as many as people as Shaq, but it's a start. And it's amazing when you have a team. And this is important because, right, I've trained most of the people except for Michelle, right? And that's from going over what I did, like what Jen just did. That's what you do. You go over what you do, and then you show your trainees what you're doing. You copy the right cat. That's a big deal. So I'm a call on a couple of you just to go over what you did. All right. But teaching teammates how to attack the 3-headed monster, setting appointments, going on appointments, and closing, right? You only miss the shots you don't take. You only miss the closes of the appointments you don't set. You got to set the appointment. You got to set the appointment, you all. It's so important to set the appointment because if you don't set the appointment, you can't go on the appointment. You don't go on appointment, you can't close. You can't close, you don't make no money. You don't make no money, you're going to quit. I know we love Primerica, but I don't think anybody came here to do it for free. I don't think any of you did. I didn't. I came here to break daggone bank. You understand that? Generational wealth, businesses, right? So that is the 3-headed monster. When you're out there training, when you're out there closing business and you do what Jen just did, she's showing her prospect, her clients, how to set it, how to go on it, and how to close and how to make money. She's showing them that. So that is important. And the best way to do it is by doing it. Just do it. That's the best way. We can teach it all day, but if we're not putting it in action, we're losing. right? You can say, yeah, I know how to set an appointment. Yeah, I know how to go on an appointment. Yeah, I know how to close. Well, how do we know that you're actually doing it, right? My kids don't do what I do what I say, they do what I do. That's real. I can talk all day. They're going to see what I'm doing and they're going to mimic it. 7-day focus, accountability calls, Monday through Thursday at 9:30 p.m. This keeps the pulse on the business because they're hearing me talk about what I did. And in return, I'm expecting them to do the same thing. You understand that? If I'm not doing anything, they're surely not going to do anything. I'm not FI yet. So I got to lead from the front and teach them what I'm doing and duplicate and so they can mimic me. They got to copy the right cat. I was just telling Donald, the greatest thing about Primerica is I know without a shadow of a doubt, Shaq can at least give me the 500,000. 500,000, shadow of a doubt, $7-8 million saved or whatever it is, 300 agents, right? 6, 7, 8 RVPs. I know he can at least do that. Y'all know we can at least get you to 100,000 top numbers. We're about $4,000 away. You know we can at least do that. And that's exciting. Who are you following? Right? So when we do the accountability calls, that's another way that we're planting seeds on what the leader is doing. They're able to hear. They're able to hear what we did. This is how I closed business today. This is what I did from doing this, right? That's important. Next slide, Jen. Recruiting your clients on a qualified appointment. At the beginning of the appointment, during the appointment, and after the appointment, always be planting seeds. This is big, and this is why, you all, because you want to set the table to the trainee on what to do on the appointment, as well as the person you're presenting to, the couple you're presenting to. That first slide, before the first slide, forming them, and then the first slide are so important. It's so important. You're able to see where they are and what type of appointment it's going to be. You're asking questions in the beginning. You're getting to know them. Now, depending on what you do, there's not a right or wrong way. I do the character reference. I've already spoken to them. So when I get on the Zoom, it's already hot because I already had a conversation with you. We've already spoken. How you doing? All is well. And now we're talking. So now I'm letting you know what this is about. Excitement. You get excited. We'd love for you to introduce us to some people just like yourself, right? Value. If there's a need for our products and services and you value what it is that we do, we would love to earn your business. And in partnership. If you or you happen to know of anyone that's looking for an opportunity to earn an additional $1,500 a month on a part-time basis, please introduce those people to us. We are looking for people who want to work from home. We have a pandemic right now. Everybody wants to work from home. Everybody wants to make additional income. This is huge because this is when their ears go up like, wait, hold up, what? Right? This is big. You're planting the seeds right here, you all. Next slide, Jen. All right, so let's talk about the teammates, what they did this week. So I was telling our team, our Sunday training last week, that I had to go out of town for my dad, and I spoke to one of our teammates, Sharzandra, right? Sharzandra, I told Sharzandra, I said, hey, Z, I call her Coach Z. Coach Z, we need you this week, right? We're going to be out of town for a couple of days. We need our teammates to step up, right? When you have teammates on your team that step up, when you have a situation, because here's the thing, you all, something is going to happen where you may have to step away and take a few hours off, just a few hours. I'm not saying days, but just a few. You may have to take care of something. And this is where Primerica shows itself off. You understand that? That's so important because at a job, I know I would have got 3 days bereavement and then probably no pay after that if I needed more time to take care of my father's affairs. You understand that? In Primerica, it don't work like that. I had teammates closing business. The teammates that I personally trained on my own time that I invested in closing business. Z went out there and closed a lot of business during this time, right? That's important. And this is why we came to Primerica. And guess what? You all have the same opportunity because I promise you, life is going to hit. Something is going to happen. It's going to knock you out for a minute. And you're going to need something to energize you in your own business. If you by yourself, you may die off in Primerica. But if you got a solid team, you have a foundation, that's what keeps the heart beating fast. You understand that? That's what keeps it going. That's why this is important. That's why successful recruiting is important, you all. It's big. So this is what the team did this past week over the past 7 days. Gabrielle added a child rider to her sister's policy. Very important, you guys, to make sure your family members are covered. It's important because they're going to go. And when they do go, do they have insurance? Or are you going to be doing a GoFundMe? Or are you going to be doing barbecues, t-shirt sales, chicken platter dinners, right? Holding different things to raise money for your loved ones. When I think of a GoFundMe, I think of Jada's cheerleading team, Tyshar's football team. I don't think of burying a loved one, y'all. GoFundMe, and I'm sending it out on Facebook trying to get people to send me money to bury a loved one. That's no. It's your responsibility to make sure that your family members are covered. My dad was uninsurable by the time I got into Primerica, but I still made sure he had that stupid whole life policy that still ain't paid out. It's been a month, almost a month. It still hasn't paid off. Think about that. But I still made sure that he had some type of coverage. I didn't like the policy he had and he wanted something, but still, in all, it was my responsibility. The youngest of 5, they all called me when my daddy died, right? That's your responsibility, you all. You got to know what to do. You got to make sure. Great job, Gabby, making sure your sister and your nephew is covered, right? Donald just had a client whose child is in a situation that may pass away prematurely. Has the child rider on there? We don't know, y'all. We don't know.
He passed away this morning.
Okay, so he passed away this morning. There you go. So we got to make sure our people are covered. That's important. Corey, it's crazy because Corey was on the verge of quitting. Me and Mama V been resuscitating her every chance we get. We resuscitate. Corey got a referral from an existing client, $155 max case, y'all. She just put it in, max case. That's why you never let your license go. That's why you always continue to go see people. That's why, because you never know who's going to need insurance and you never know when that person is going to pass away. Michelle, Warren Market picked up a $76 application. There's fortune and follow. She followed up with this client for 8 months, y'all. 8 months she followed up with this client. 8 months. There is fortune in follow up. You've got to create a system where you are following up with your clients, right? The ones who give you referrals and the ones who don't give you referrals. Call them, call both of them. If they've given you referrals, call them for somewhere. If they haven't, follow up with them. There's fortune in follow-up. That's a big deal. Mama V, you want to talk about what you got this week with your niece? Talk about that application really fast, if you can, please.
Okay, so my niece called me and she told me, she said she has a friend that lives all the way in Florida that wanted to get a policy. And I was like, okay, cool. Let me give me her phone number, give me a call. Let me call her. So I called her. Now it wasn't that easy, guys, because see, like Shay said, we always want to text. So this young lady is texting me. I said, no, we got to get on a Zoom so we can take care of this. You got things you got to sign. So I finally got her on and we did the application. Like I said, and this is just from a referral, we have to make sure that we follow up with people and keep close with even our warm market so we can let them know that you might remember me when I was an engineer, but I'm not that anymore. I am now a financial coach, a person that can help someone, help families. So that's what I did, guys. I just went out and I keep my family informed. And look, I'm still looking for people. I still need to help families and let them know what's going on in the world, remind them because of the uncertainty. So that's what I did. That's how I got that.
Great job, Mama V. You was about to say financial gangster, wasn't you?
Oh, yes, I was. I had to change it.
You was about to say financial gangster. All right. Donald picked up 3 apps this week. Great job, D. Hold it down. Talk about the client who just lost a child this morning, and then talk about the 3 apps that you picked up this week. This is I remember training Donald, y'all, and it's funny because Donald used to take me on some terrible appointments. Remember that? He used to take me on appointments, and I used to go all the way to, but this is when we was, going house to house. I would go all the way to Manassas and meet with people with Donald, and then I used to get on him. And now Donald is out here following up with people, closing business. He's written 10 grand personal. It's exciting to see when you train someone and you invest in someone, who they become in Primerica. And this is why we do what Jen just did. This is why we go out and we produce on a weekly basis. This is why we hire, train, develop, and get licensed, successful recruits. This is why. All right, D, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm really just really trying to keep it together because this the first time I even was a part of even hearing about someone passing away that I've actually presented to or connected to, the person who I presented to. Um, I just found out just a few minutes ago while I was on training. Like I looked at Facebook and seen that she said her son passed away. And we've been talking, well, she's been texting me and, wanting to get her son on the child rider. So, I just put him on the child rider probably a few days ago. She was
How long
telling
has
me
she been a client?
she's been a client for over a year, maybe two
Okay.
years
And how
now.
many kids does she have?
She has, this would have been her third child.
Okay.
So,
Was it a referral? Was it how did you meet her?
well, she was a referral. She was a referral, and that's just giving me, even more motivation to get referrals because and the person that referred her wasn't even someone who actually gave me a chance to present to him. This was
Mhm.
someone that I knew from New York, Queens, and we grew up. And I told him what I do, and he said, I got about three policies. I'm good. But I can refer you to some people or whatever. And he referred me to Shantae, and
And we'll take
Shantae
it.
called me, and I presented to her. This is when we was still working in the office out in Herndon, and I presented to her on Zoom, and she got coverage on her husband, and her kids. It was a max
Right.
case, and she just had a baby, and she wanted to get her son on the policy, and he's been fighting, since he's been born. So, I just seen it on Facebook, so I'm I got to talk to Shay. I got to talk to you about how we go about doing this and everything like
Right.
that. So
And what
that,
is coach? What is my coach always say? You don't really know this business until someone passes away. You have to deliver a claim. Then it becomes
right,
real. Yeah, it's all setting appointments. Yeah, it's all Top Gun. Yeah, Top Gun. Yeah, it's winning trips. But it's real when you get that phone call or you get that text message and someone passes away. And like I told you guys, the life insurance agent, what people don't like, that's one of the first, if not the first person that the deceased family members are calling. You understand that? Because the first thing that people think about when someone passes away, y'all, is bread, money, dead Benjamins. That's what they think about. Okay, how am I going to do this? How am I going to? They can't even mourn because they're so worried about money. And that's why it's important. All right, so tell us how you got these other three apps, D.
so these three apps that I got this week, and it's crazy because Shay reminded me that I got these three this week. Um, so with Deanie, she's a church member that I know. We go to the same church, and I tried to present to her about 3 years ago, and she just didn't give me a time to present to her. But just keep following up. I saw on Facebook. I've been on Facebook and Facebook Messenger a lot, just looking for warm market people that I know. And I seen on there a friend requested her, and just asked her how she was doing, how her son was doing, and then um, through that, end up setting up a appointment with her and getting her started with a $46 application. So, just keep following up. Then the second one was Jeffrey, someone I, knew from junior high school days, seen him on Facebook Messenger and just messaged him like, hey, how you doing? He remembered me, and then set up an appointment with him to get on Zoom and started him out with a $30 COD. And then guy Barry, I used to go to school with him too in Brooklyn Elementary School. He already had came into the business a while back, but he, fell off, and I wanted to get him, going, but he just, you know, was going some things. So I seen him on Facebook Messenger again, and then told him like, hey, you need to get some life insurance. And he was like, yo, call me right now. And we got on FaceTime. We got on the I got him on the screen and just went through the importance of him getting life insurance and started him out with a 42 out of application. So that's how I got those people.
All right, great job, man. So the follow-up, you guys, follow-up is very important. And social media, utilize social media. Don't make it your only way of reaching out to people, but make it a way, right? You can't control the seeds that grow, but you can control the one you throw. That's Bill Whittle. That's amazing, right? You can throw as many, you in control of that. Now you can't control if they grow, but you can control the ones that you throw. And social media messages, that's one of them. That's not the only, but it is one of them. All right. Bill Whittle also says you got to stay in business while building a business. Book your week out before your week gets here. This is big. This is something that I'm consistently encouraging our teammates to do, because I'm in a frenzy if I don't have at least a minimum of 5 appointments by the time we get on the blitz, because my goal is to have 10 plus appointments, right? To start to have my week going, 10 plus by Saturday night. By the time that blitz come, I got to make sure I at least got 5, because if I don't have 5, I'm panicking. I'm in panic mode right now. I only got 4. I need 1 more so I can, be okay. So you all, I encourage you, when Wednesday comes, you kind of know what your week is. That's hump day. You kind of know what it's looking like. If you have some reschedules, throw them out for the week coming up, right? Start looking at what you can potentially book for the week that's coming up. You're planning ahead. You're planning forward. You know what you have going on. You want your week to be booked out. That's so important, right? Because in this business, the way that we get paid is by sitting with the client, right? And helping them apply for life insurance, right? Or whatever other product you're getting, Vivid, investments, whatever it is, but that's how we get paid. So that's what you want to do. That's a game changer. It changed my business, because what we do on Saturday, I would get the Saturday training and we would have 45 minutes and I'm scrolling through my phone trying to figure out, and coach would always say, make sure you got your names and numbers done. I was the one that didn't, not smart, didn't go home and watch TV, don't have no appointments book. I'm scrolling through my phone. I've got time. Like, okay, this is ridiculous. I got to plan ahead. I have to make sure that I have appointments. So when Saturday came, I started making sure I had my names and numbers. When Saturday came, I started making sure I already had appointments set. You understand? And he said, have 100 referrals to call, 100. And this way, you'll always have somebody to call. That is your inventory, names and numbers. So that's a game changer, making sure you have a minimum of 5 by the blitz on Saturday. Part-timers, 5 appointments set a week. Full-timers have 10 minimum, right? Go all the way out on setting appointments, you guys, because that is where you get everything. Referrals, recruits, clients, you can get everything, make money. So you want to make sure that is, you have that etched in stone when your week starts. Okay, I got my 5 appointments this Saturday. By 11 o'clock, I got my 5. How many more can you set on top of your 5? Don't get complacent. Don't get lazy. 10 times the appointments. Go all the way in, right? And that's how we get it started, you guys. That's it. That's what gives you confidence. That's what encourages you. That's what inspires you. That's what your teammates need to see. They need to see you, the leader, out there setting appointments, attacking that 3-headed monster, setting appointments, going on appointments, closing appointments, and of course, making money at the end of the day. And then recruiting your clients and getting big. That's what they need to see. All right. That's important. You guys have questions? We got 20 minutes, 22 minutes. Lord have mercy. Jen, you want to add to that?
Nope. I think we covered everything. I don't know if anybody else has questions. That was really good, Donald. Great job this week.
Yeah, man, big deal. You could write 10 grand personal doing that. Anybody have